This was a strange follow-up to Full Gear. I'm John Retton with my review of AEW Dynamite, and I'm not sure how to feel about this episode overall. There were a couple things I hated. Some of it was just meh to me, and there were a few things I did like, and I do like the fact that they're already, focusing on Moxley versus Omega a few weeks out. That's really good. The rematch, I hope it's better than the match they had at Full Gear, which I did not like, but some people did, and I know that was a divisive opinion. But anyway, let me know what you guys have to say in the comments, because the feedback from this episode on social media seemed just a bit mixed. One, happy Veterans Day message to the troops. It was a very classic move by AEW. Very classy. New intro. I like it. I like the fact that it features the talents more without so many, color explosions like the original intro. And then Team Taz arrives. Taz first says, hey, Darby, great job winning the TNT Championship. But the last time Team Taz was with you, we left you on the hood of your car. You and Cody better stay away. But we will make our presence felt. And then he puts over Matt Seidel as a threat to Cage. How he's even beaten Chris Jericho before. Matt Seidel has, subtle shot at the company that you're not going to mention, by name at least. Cage versus Seidel. I actually enjoyed this more than I thought, because Cage really isn't all that great. I'm sorry, he's not. He's impressive looking. Yes, he's agile for that size, but Seidel is the much better worker, and really just, was like a goddamn ping pong ball here. Just getting, bounced around a whole bunch, and Taz joined commentary. 4-person team, that was way too much. That's way too much in any wrestling broadcast. Seidel does, use some good power. Actually has, pretty good core strength, lifting up, using Cage's momentum against him. Cage does toss Seidel around quite a bit, though. Meteor on the ramp, that looked goddamn painful. Like, it looked like Seidel really jacked his knee. Good back and forth. Really close near fall where it looked like Seidel was gonna get the victory, but nope, 2.99. That was a really good near fall. And then eventually Seidel got caught out of the air. Drill claw 1, 2, 3. And then Starks wants the TNT Championship, which I'm all for. I'm more than happy to see Starks as a TNT champion, but hopefully not until Revolution. Build this for a bit, have the rematch, have Starks captured. That way Darby can have, a decent championship run, even if it's just for a few months. And then that way Starks, it'll mean more. He can have a run for another 6 months, and you give it to somebody else. Maybe Will Hobbs. Have Will Hobbs beat Ricky Starks at, the August pay-per-view. Think long-term, and they actually could do some really good shit with this. Or they could hotshot it. Cody's entrance is massive ego stroking. I just want to say that right now. He congratulates Darby and says that himself and Arn will not look for a rematch at this time. Okay, so there was this girl named Jade that came down. Now, apparently she is somebody that AEW has signed, signed a few months ago. And I gotta admit, I must have missed that. I will say this right now. For a brand new talent, this was an odd way to debut her. That being said, she has a great look. She is cut as hell. She is statuesque. She has a striking look to her. And has a good delivery. Even though this promo was a little bit long for a new talent, I gotta give her credit. She delivered this well. It was just very strange. It was a weird way to debut a new talent. And seriously, she's put together. She looks like a goddamn star. She acts like a star. She talks like one. She really exudes that star potential. So hopefully she can back it up in the ring. I can't say that I've seen anything she's done in the ring, but I look forward to seeing what she can do. And so cool for her, she says, what do you know about giants? It's like, there is nothing giant about you. It's just very out of nowhere. Like, Cody was a giant killer, but he lost to Brody Lee, and then he beat him a few weeks later after coming back from a TV show that he had recorded, some reality show, some game show thing. And, you're waking a giant. And, well, they missed the edit for shit, which was kind of hilarious. And congratulations on your name, but you weren't man enough to just make it with just one name. But you know who I'm talking about? She mentioned Shaq. Yes, the former NBA great. The analyst on, NBA Tonight or whatever the fuck it's called. I haven't watched the NBA in years. But yeah, Shaq. Steel himself. Hopefully he doesn't come out in his steel gear or his Kazam gear. Shaq was not in a lot of good movies, is my point. But Shaq. So they're going to do Shaq versus Cody. Why? Like, why? Just why in the world? Why did they mention... Why? What is going on? I don't understand why this is happening. This is where it started to get maddening. And then Brandi is trying to act all street. It's like, let me see. You're out here, smacking your gums at my man. It's like, now you are my problem. Let me tell you right now that Brandi Rhodes just shot up, not very far because she was already near the top, to somebody I absolutely despise in wrestling, as far as a wrestling character. I don't want her to be made fun of and to have racial slurs thrown at her. I've seen that, and that's such fucking bullshit, but you can knock the character all you want. She is going to get on this show one way or another, and she is not any good. She was not good here. Now, she was fired up. She seemed legit mad, but she was not convincing at all. It was really, really unconvincing verbiage. Jade is just like sitting there. She's trying not to laugh. She is trying so hard not to laugh, but she was poised and held her own here, and says, "Don't you ever talk to him like that again." Calls her a heifer at one point. What was this segment? It was bad. It was really bad. Nothing against Jade. I look forward to seeing what she can do. But Cody's just like, Cody's going to get his wife on camera one way or another. And if she wasn't banging Cody, she wouldn't be anywhere near a wrestling promotion in this capacity. I'm not saying she ain't smart enough. I'm not saying she's not college educated. But she has no charisma, no personality whatsoever. She's the worst character in wrestling, at least in an American wrestling promotion. She's fucking terrible. This was ridiculous. She seemed angry. I didn't like it, but maybe some people did. Let me know what you guys thought. And then Cage and Starks attack Cody, and then Darby, who's up in one of the upper decks seemingly. His music hits, and they just wait for him. I guess he must have already started walking to the stage, to the ring, and he was already most of the way there when they hit his music. And he's wearing a thumbtack jacket, and then he does moves where he hits Starks and then Cage with it. Why does he have a thumbtack jacket? Darby is insane. I just don't get why he does these things. Then Moxley promo, he talks about, what he won in AEW when he first got there and how being champion means that he's not going to quit. It's for everybody that's struggling to get by and for every kid that gets made fun of for being a wrestling fan. So good for him. And he sounds fired up. And then he says, well, good luck, Kenny. You're going to need it. The rematch on the 2nd, which I look forward to. Make it a straight-up match. Give it 25 minutes, and you're going to have something good. Now, Omega's got to beat Moxley here. As much as I'm not a fan of Omega, and I'm really not. I like his matches with Okada and a few other things. That's another story for another day. If Moxley does not lose to Omega, I don't know who the fuck else you have him face. Maybe Archer, but Archer is world champion. At this point, they need to build him up a whole lot more. But I think Omega's going to take it from Moxley here. And then we get the Butcher and the Blade with the Bunny versus the Natural Nightmares bunkhouse match. Holy shit, this had a lot of blood. And where did they get the hay bales? Maybe it was a way to bail them out. Nah. Yeah, okay, it wasn't very funny. We got bull rope and belts and blood, and Allie got involved. And Allie, okay. She's clearly a horror movie fan, by the way. You can tell with, her gear and everything. Blade, holy shit, he bladed deep. And no, that's not even a joke. He really did. That was something else. We get a running bulldog onto the plywood. We get an elbow off the ladder by QT for 2. We get a falling, the full death on the chairs, but QT breaks that up. We get a cutter on the chain, a table bump, and the Bunny goes through the table. She gets wood all over her back from her husband. And then we get more cowbell. We have a fever. The only prescription is more cowbell. And then a cutter pins Blade. I will say this much. This match actually wasn't that bad. Was it overbooked? Was it ridiculous because of the setup? Yes. But you know what? It wasn't that bad. And then unfortunately we have recaps of the Matt Sammy thing. Don't squander what I've given you. You losing will get you more over. Sure, Matt. Okay, please don't wrestle again. The Elite Deletion match, by the way, check out my Full Gear review, was absolutely abysmal. And then MJF, his introduction into the inner circle, his induction, if you will, and there's a podium. This was more bad WWE comedy, just on a different program. I appreciate what MJF does, and MJF is a huge star. Jericho has not meant anything in the last number of months. He has just basically been taking the piss out of everything, or pissing on everything. He has done more damage to his career. And I'm just talking in the ring. I mean, forget the fact that he donated to the goddamn idiot and whatever. Just focusing on in the ring, he can't go anymore. He can't fucking do anything. He even seems gassed doing promos. Jericho's yelling and, in his midlife crisis jacket. And MJF says, I started out with a small loan of $1 million. I'm not sure if that was a shot at Trump or not, but if it was brilliant. And, that's all me. He's just continuing saying, all this stuff, that's all me. And more infighting. Nobody wants him in the inner circle. And a surprise birthday party for Chris Jericho, who just recently turned 50. Please don't wrestle anymore, Chris. And they're going to Vegas next week. Okay, but Sammy's not there. Sammy shows up a little bit later. The Bucks interview. What's next? They're going to face Top Flight next week. You know what? Top Flight impressed me in their AEW Dark match. Young Bucks out. Hopefully not. I don't want them injured, but apparently Matt is really hurt, so maybe he should take a break. Maybe they lose the championships to FTR soon and then take a break. So we get Spears versus Sky. I like Sky. Spears is not a bad athlete. I didn't care about this feud. I'm sorry, I didn't. I hope Sky gets featured more. Awkward step spot, and then we get a weird spot where the loaded glove gets used, and Spears fists Scorpio Sky and gets a victory 1, 2, 3. And then Dasha says, well, I was going to interview Kenny, but he ran off. So we went back to Dasha instead of saying, wait, we were going to go back to Dasha, but Kenny ran away. Nothing wrong with seeing Dasha on camera, but it was just weird. And then Omega says, well, he wants Mox. He's not really good on the mic. He's like, where's the cleaner? Or where's the cleaner Ben? Where's the best bout machine Ben? Well, Okada's in New Japan, Kenny, so that's why you haven't had some of your best bouts lately. I'm not saying that Kenny is not capable in the ring, and I get why people like him. Let's be honest, Okada made him better than he actually was. Now, that being said, he should beat Mox next week. Ty Conte with Anna Jay versus Red Velvet with Brandi. Look, Ty and Red Velvet are obviously, green in the ring. That being said, they do have some ability. They do have some natural athletic ability, and they did fine here. The thing is, this almost should have been on Dark. You need more women's matches on Dark, but that's the thing. If this is the best representation you have of the women, one, Brandi, at least for what it's worth, just, stood outside the ring, like a statue, which actually, that's unfair. Statues have some personality and some use. Brandi doesn't. Anna Jay tried to get Ty Conte to cheat, slide a chair in. Oh no, you can't do that. JR says, by the way, at one point, when AEW signed Red Velvet, they really got somebody. Yes, JR, that's how signing a wrestler works. Why are you here, JR? Why are you here? You aren't any good anymore. And the power of these Brazilian legs. Good God, horny JR has leaked onto, maybe leaked was the wrong word to say, but leaked onto AEW, Dynamite commentary. So actually, no, wait a second. He actually did the other time with Anna Jay, the wardrobe malfunction line. Whatever. JR just doesn't seem to care about the women's division. Pump kick, gory stretch into a knee, 1, 2, 3. Pretty effective finisher. Ty Conte gets the win. And then, so then will Tay join the Dark Order? Who the fuck knows? So then Marvez interviews the Inner Circle. Sammy's like, what the hell, MJF? You told me to meet you at the beach, and then I only got one email. I sent you 2. I only got 1 email. This was an email debate. It was stupid. Next week, we get Sabian versus Orange Cassidy, the Bucks versus Top Flight, Cody and Darby versus Cage and Starks. I expect Will Hobbs to hopefully not rip his shirt for no goddamn reason like he did in the opening segment. Forgot to mention that. And then Inner Circle slays Las Vegas. I already hate it because of them using the word slays. Here's Eddie to put over Moxley, and then he joins commentary for Phoenix versus Pentagon Jr. Now, 1, so much pyro for them. 2, I understood what they were trying to do, and yes, you could build this as a blood feud where they're ripping at the master and doing the stuff to beat the shit out of each other. Here's the thing, though. Yes, they've had a bit of the infighting. Eddie is obviously trying to work the brothers against each other because he likes Penta more than Phoenix. The thing is, though, is this felt like it was just hot-shotted right to this point. They have fought before. I don't remember if they fought in Impact, but I believe they fought in Lucha Underground. And the thing is, you can revisit that. But to an AEW audience, they had that tournament match. Yeah, they've had their verbal squabbles, but that's really been about it. I mean, am I wrong? And they did some good stuff, but the thing is, I didn't really care because a lot of Lucha doesn't have a ton of psychology to an American audience. But Penta and Phoenix are very good. We get a package driver, in the ring, after a package driver on the apron, and then 1, 2, 3. So Penta gets the victory after they've ripped their masks to hell. And then Eddie, mocks the fans. This is awesome, all this stuff, and kicks Phoenix out. Penta, you're my brother. You don't need that. You don't need that dead weight. Here's the bastard Pac, whatever. And he's upset at Eddie. He's going to take on the Blade next week, apparently. He's going to go through Eddie Kingston's entire family and get to Eddie. I'm guessing, stretch this out till Revolution. I know we have 3 months, but don't tell me that Pac, whatever, can't maybe, you know, find a way to like reform Death Triangle or something like that with, you know, Penta and Phoenix. It wasn't a bad episode of Dynamite, but it was a bit strange. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rethlin. I'll see you soon.